Well, let's begin our class, Session 7, Animation Scripting, Week 4. It's Monday, February 1st. And our agenda tonight is to go over, in fact, let me make sure I've got I got to make sure I've got the right, yeah, let's see. Yeah, okay. It looks like I have a slight little issue, and I'm correcting that. So I had to fix that issue. So here's what our objectives are for our overview for this week. We're publishing our self-promotional interactive infographic to 3 types of media: one for a web page viewed on a desktop, computer, laptop, one for a mobile device and a browser, and one is a standalone app for a smartphone. So the objectives this week is to publish to multiple types of devices and output media. And you're very familiar with what our project is. Oh, you know what? I think I accidentally skipped over announcements. Give me a minute. Yep, I think I must have accidentally skipped right over this. I just want to make sure we're clear on the announcements. We are using Adobe Flash CC 2015. Some students who've already had Adobe Edge Animate have requested whether or not we were open to allowing them to do their project in Adobe Edge Animate. And in week 2, I communicated that to those who'd already started with Adobe Edge Animate, because the wording on the assignment on week 2 used the word Adobe Animate, which is going to be the new product that we're going to be working with. And that new product is not Adobe Edge Animate. It actually is going to be really the replacement of Adobe Edge Animate and Adobe Flash. So the real name for the one for this class was Adobe Flash CC 2015, but some students interpreted Adobe Animate in the assignment to mean Adobe Edge Animate, and by the time the end of the week came around, they'd already done their work. So I just want to make sure everybody gets the benefit of that change. That if you have, or if you prefer to use Adobe Edge Animate for your animation in this class, that you are open to doing that without any risk of penalty whatsoever. And so that helps it be fair to anyone who accidentally or misunderstood the assignment to mean Adobe Edge Animate, or for those who have taken Adobe Edge Animate and found some success with it. So so now let's talk about showing you how to access lynda.com. And I'm going to share my screen where you can see that. We've received our license to access lynda.com. And here's how you do it. In the list here where it says modules, you can click here and scroll down. Currently we've got 2 weeks which have these in it. And so here's the link right there, the lynda.com. That link will take you to the playlist for week 3. And this link here will take you to the playlist for week 4. Just by clicking on it, I'll walk through it with you. So no longer are you getting to access any videos online directly from the course and with links. So instead, we have to go into the playlist. Now watch how this works. I'll go back to week 3, click on this playlist, and the first thing that happens is a window appears in the browser that has a clickable button on it. And this button here, if you click on that, it will then log you into lynda.com, and it will place you right on that playlist. And again, the playlist is really all of the files that are pertinent to this week's work, or this one's last week's work. So if you scroll down here, you'll see that it's got the one video, and so this one here, and this is the course that it's coming from. Now let's go back out to our modules, and let's go to week 4 playlist. Same thing here. Oops. Click here. Oops. All right. Click here. And this is the week 4 playlist for DES 365. Now, the good news is that, so this is the list of all those, and you can see the same list over here in the course. So week 4, reading tools, is that same list. See those right there? But there are no links. There are no links here to get to it. You have to go to this link, which will take you to the list where you can choose the playlist for the appropriate week. So but you see that set of videos corresponds directly to the, let me go week 4, this set of videos here. Here they do have links, but you're inside lynda.com. So that will work there. Playlist will always remain in your account, so that in the future, when you log in, you can go and access the same set of playlists. So every week that we access lynda.com in the future, we'll do it like this, where we set up a playlist for that week. All right, I'll unmute everybody. Or does anybody have any questions about how to access lynda.com now?
I don't.
Good? Okay. Awesome. All right.
Get rid of that account we got with them now, right? So I don't have to pay no $19 a month?
No, it's paid for.
Okay.
You know what? I actually had started. I had started my my trial membership there at lynda.com, and I'd forgotten about canceling it, and so I got this message that I had been charged for 1 month of lynda.com, and that was just yesterday. So I emailed them and I said, hey, I just want you to know I'm really sorry about this. I really had not intended to continue with my trial subscription that would then turn into a real one. And so I asked if they would, if it wasn't too late, if it weren't too late, that they could refund me, and they did. So I got a message in the mail that they refunded me for that monthly payment that had hit my credit card. And plus, now the timing of it's great, because now we can access it directly. All right, so that's it for the tutorial on accessing lynda.com. Sounds like everybody's good with how that works. We've posted the hours for Misty, and you can access that or set up a time with her to meet. So this is that same list of 5 videos, and you'll go into lynda.com link, load it up, and it goes right to the playlist. Final animation interactivity. So for your final phase of your self-promotional interactive infographic, you'll have your piece saved and published as an HTML5 Canvas document. I spoke with my supervisor about this, and she was wanting to communicate the need to be an HTML5 Canvas document and not an ActionScript 3 Swift document that's being published. And so she is requesting or expecting that I have you, if you are using Adobe, an ActionScript 3 document that generates a Swift file, that you do move to the Canvas-based document this week and move your assets over, and then be in a position to create just HTML5 output rather than a Swift file that needs the Flash player. So, so we have many options, as you can see. Now we have the option of going from ActionScript 3 to HTML5 Canvas document. We have the option of just starting off to begin with the HTML5 Canvas document. And then the third one is this new one that I wanted to share, or at least make it universal, and that is you can use Edge Animate also for your animation. So as you can see, we're trying to be accommodating for all these cases in a win-win scenario. Well, that 10-minute break is probably a little too soon for us to have a break. And so what I want to do is continue on and just talk about what more to expect for this week. And that is the career integration question. You know, you've probably seen this in other courses by now, but if you could write your answers there. It's a graded quiz up to 15 points and 3 questions. So be sure to do that. Now, what I want to do next is to share my screen and begin talking about some more animations and tips and tricks. Last week I had, let's go back to here. Oops. I think it's my mouse that's doing the mistake movement here. That's funny, it's in my hand. Huh. Wow, I lifted it up hoping that it wouldn't, but it is an infrared, and I think that ended up doing something. So I think the screen stopped sharing. So let me get back to sharing a screen.
That was crazy.
Yeah. It's an infrared, so even though
It felt like my screen moved a bit too. All to the left. Or right, I should say.
Okay, do you see Adobe
Yes.
Flash Professional?
Flash. Yeah, we do.
Okay, good.
I do.
All right, I had some more examples that I wanted to show and go over with you. And just so that we can kind of study how interactivity works. By the way, I don't know if any of you noticed my discussion post, but I talked to you about GitHub, an online code repository. And also I talked about the Create.js library. So after this part of class, I'll go over some of those things that, so I have folders here that are copies of what I've put in my GitHub code repository. And so I'm working on my personal portfolio website right now. And this is for my business, my side business. And I'll be working on. And then I've got a code repository for also each of my classes. And so this is how I am creating the code snippet library. I'm using GitHub, and I'm creating these different branches, they call them, of code. So this is the output, and that goes into that website. So that's what I wanted to mention about github.com. And then here I wanted to go over some of these examples with you and their interactivity. So this is an FLA file. So my question is this a Canvas-based animation, or is it a ActionScript 3 file?
ActionScript 3, I say.
Anyone else?
The canvas.
Yep, there it is right there. Okay, so
It says it up top too on the properties.
I can't even see it.
is this off your screen?
No, it's really small. My eyes are bad, that's all.
Yeah, it is kind of blurry.
I hope that
Even with glasses, I can't hardly see it. But that's okay.
all right. We'll see if that helps. So here's an example of an animation. And I'll show you how it is set up. So if you need to message me, go ahead. I'll put the chat window out where I can see it. So here we have our stage, and we have this one item on our stage. It's a group. It's a grouping of various objects. And if we look at and double click on that group, now inside the group, and the group has its own set of timelines here. If we turn off these here, that you'll see that the object itself is a group, and in the scene 1, it's turned off. Because the group is actually at up here at the scene 1 level. Now, the animation that takes place on this in scene 1, it is caused by the objects being made into symbols, and then we animate these symbols. So this is a sample ad, and built from the library of symbols here, various groupings. And so we create the animation, and I'm looking for the A. I think that I'm going to have to exit out and come back in, because I think that we've encountered a bug here. It was there a minute ago, now it's gone. We go into actions, there they are. Normally, when you're on that screen, if it's got a actions, then there it is. So So this is the reference to the document object model. This is the function for add event listener. The item that was used to create this was found in code snippets. Make sure you choose HTML5 canvas because that's what this is here. Do not choose ActionScript because that would be for an ActionScript 3 file, which would not have the word canvas there. So we can then have event handlers, and here are the options of mouse click event, and that's what's going on here. So the first parameter in this function is the word click. Second parameter is the name of the function you're going to. And so if you you set it up so that any click on this document here, this group of images, will then jump control down to this function, which will do this. And that's an alert function, which is simply going to say something on the output. So I'll go ahead and let's just go here, test. You can watch this file change. It's got an asterisk right now. Oh, you don't see the output screen. Let me bring it over here. So you click on it, and there's the message, boo. Well, the result of the alert window will bring up boo. Again, if we had changed it, it would put the asterisk there. Normally, when you do a test, it will save it and then compile it and output it and display it. So the animation, there it is right there, is on in frame 1, and in the actions panel, you can see that it adds the event listener, and there's the alert. Boom. Okay, any questions on that animation? Good. Yeah, this one definitely is animated. This shows an interactive button. Or I'll show you how this one works. And that is, you can see the action script right there. Click on that, go into the actions. Okay, well, so actions frame 1, scene 1 has actions in the frame 1. So here, this is scene 1, action frame 1. So that's what we're looking at. And so here we have this, which is the document object model, and then next button, and that's this one here, dot add event listener. So this one's a little different than the other one because the other one didn't have the symbol in the middle of it. The other one was just this dot add event listener, and that meant the entire stage, the default document of the document object model. Here we're going to differentiate, and this is a symbol here called next_btn. We add the event listener to click, and if that is clicked, then we jump to play button. So again, the snippet that's being used is the same one. Let's see, this is HTML5 canvas, and the interactivity is the event handler mouse click event. So we're going to set and wire up the next button with that, And now we're going to wire up the previous button. And so actually what's happening is the mouse click event is being used twice for two different things. One for the next button, right here, and the other for the previous button, right here. So then here we're going to set a variable, call it slide_MC, that's short for movie clip. And we'll say this.slide_MC. So this movie clip has already been created. It's been named slide_MC, and we're taking advantage of that and putting it into a variable. So inside, you can see here, there's a picture symbol that is going to be this slide_MC movie clip. You'll see that right there. And what's going on here is scene one is kind of like the container, meaning it contains another a movie clip. And this, what it's doing is this animation is happening in the outside layer or level in the scene one, the container, and it's giving directives to the movie clip that it contains, which is the picture movie clip. You can see it right there. And it's saying play. And so at this level, scene one level, all we're doing is clicking on these buttons. These buttons are actually at this level. I say level meaning scene one. And then the interactivity is going on. And the second that I do click this next button, it comes down here. It's going to jump the play button. It's going to come down here like that. It's going to run this. It's basically saying, hey, slide movie clip that I contain, play. So let me kind of give you an analogy of how this works. It's kind of like you yelling into a house right at the front door, and the owner of the house is there at the front door, and you're out on the street, and you're saying, and the person out on the street is the user, and it's like the person who's clicking, so it's you and me. And so I'm sitting on the street, and I yell to the owner at the front door, and I said, hey, could you make that movie happen that's going on in your, let's say, in your front room? And I say, hey, make that happen. And so he turns around at the front door and yells into the people in the front room and says, turn it on, play. So it's kind of like a little bit of a messaging system. One second. One more. It's a little bit like the shell game, or where we send a message, we're communicating with the person at the front door, but they turn around and communicate with the people in the living room. So the people in the living room is the slideshow underneath, which is the picture animation. And the next button really kind of lives outside. The previous button lives outside the house. And so we're interacting with the next, or for that matter, the next button could be like a doorbell, and the previous button could be a different doorbell. So we're ringing on the doorbell, and the owner is kind of saying, hey, turn on, play yourself the movie clip. So it's kind of, that's how this all works. Same thing here, previous button, it will say go and stop. It tells itself to whatever current frame you're on. This is actually a dynamic value that's changing with every second. Whatever you're on, then subtract 24 frames and go back. Now we'll look here in just a second what that looks like on that, the timeline of that thing. So well, that's how it's how it's going on here. Now let's look into the picture symbol and look here at what we've got. Remember what we just saw was two examples of mouse click, not just one, but two. We had two mouse click buttons going on there. Okay, so as you recall, a symbol can be, you can create symbols by you can create movie clip. I meant to do insert new symbol, and you can do movie clip, button, or graphic. Now each of these, once you're a symbol, you get promoted from an object. You go from object to a symbol, you get promoted. And the nice thing about the promotion to symbol is you get a timeline, your own timeline. So right now, we are looking at this picture symbol right here. And oops, I double clicked on picture 2 instead of picture 1. So here we are at the beginning. We look at our timeline. So now, essentially, we're going into the living room and we're finding out about this movie that's playing in our front living room. Now, keep in mind that there are people out front who are clicking on buttons. They're saying, next or previous, and we are inside the living room, which is like this movie clip symbol, and we are responding by going forward or backwards. And so here in frame 1, let's go look at the code. And all this does is this dot stop. So what's happening is this picture occurs on frame 1, right there, pick 1, pick 2. And pick 1 if you turn it on and off. You can see that goes on and off. And so we're stopping right here. And then if we scrub forward, you can see what's happening is we actually have two pictures here. This is called a crossfade. Now, a crossfade starts off where one of the opacity of 1, or the alpha value of 1, is set to be 0. And the alpha of the other is set to be, turn off that one. And let's see if we can get the other one. It's actually, you won't be able to see it because its opacity is 0, but as I scrub it, it'll show up. So right here, it's opacity, alpha, the properties on it. I'm looking at exactly our layout here. By the way, which kinds of which toolbar, which workspace do you guys like to use? Oops. That's my personal one right there. Classic, Animator.
I don't think we have enough experience with Flash to actually develop a workspace.
It's pretty simple. You can just choose one of these and make adjustments and save it.
So Classic is the best for you?
Well, I created mine. I'll show you mine. I created chip workspace. This is mine here that I started with an Animator.
So your library is on the left.
Yeah.
Are you left-handed or right?
I'm right-handed.
Okay.
So I was just going to show you here. In fact, I'll change it to, which one do you guys use? The classic is a common one. So I'll do classic for now. But when I scrub this, one of the images is just, you just can't see it. And the other one, we don't have it turned on. So when you scrub along here, we do a crossfade. So it goes from one image to the next. One of them fades out, the other one fades in. So this is called a crossfade. Then if you keep going here, look here in the actions.
What you just did was an action like a,
That's
gosh,
it.
I learned that today. It's in your properties, right?
Yeah, I'll show you that. And this one also has a this dot stop. If you'd like, you can come over here and collapse your actions into a panel. So when you select that, and you look at your properties, using let's display that here. Okay, so properties, movie clip. And
Is it under the color effect?
the what?
Color effect.
Yeah, you can do alpha
Alpha, right.
and zero. Sorry about that. So properties, you can use alpha. You can also use opacity to do that effect. And then here we have the introduction of the next set. We have a this dot stop right there. And then another crossfade. Another this dot stop. And oops. Another crossfade. Here, switch to the next set. As you can see, this layer, pick one layer, pick two is fading in right here, but then it fades out right there. Pick three fades in, fades out. Pick four fades in, fades out. Pick five. So then once you've done all that, you'll see that the action script here, and this is action script, oh, sorry, this is JavaScript, is now this dot go to and stop zero. What this is, it's kind of like before you stop, I want you to jump to a frame. And so this is saying, if you hit here, I actually want you to loop. And so it's saying, go to this and stop. And with HTML5 Canvas, you start with frames of 0. And even though you don't see it right there, you're actually on frame 1. It's not shown there, but you do jump back to frame 0 and then fall into frame 1. So that's how that all works. The interactivity is based. So this is like the movie going on in the living room right here. But on its own, it will hit here and then generate and go back to the beginning and essentially like be a loop. But when we output this, it will actually stop on that frame, wait for the interactivity, and then proceed.
What are you doing now?
It's showing the output window. So I'm clicking, I can go back. I think so when I set that alpha to 0, I was actually overriding what was already there. So let me back up, because that actually just made it so that even this one was not there. Let's do another file save, and then file we'll go test exports. There we go. And back. I'm certain that I got that all backed out. Because this is how it should start right there. Sometimes you got to exit out and come back in case there's a bug that's happening. It kind of resets things. Oh. Huh. I could do some more troubleshooting, but I don't want to take up the time. So the next and previous button and if you ever want, you can can inspect, and in Google, probably a little small for you. I don't know if there's a way I can make it bigger. Let's see if I can reset this. I can't see it. It's kind of small. Let's see. There we go. Okay, so I just did a right click it, inspect, and here you can see the HTML. This is generated by the Adobe Flash. And up in the head is references to the libraries. So these are like code snippet libraries, kind of like we were working on during week 3, but these are huge. In fact, these code snippet libraries are comprehensive. They are the ones that were created by a company, Grant Skinner and Company, and they are being used and incorporated into the Adobe Flash. And how this works, this HTML is automatically generated by the export or publishing functionality, and it has to reference these files. And these are actually referenced on their web server, Create.js web server. So at real time, dynamically, it goes and references those and pulls down the JavaScript. So this is the easel library of JavaScript code. This is the tween library JavaScript code. This is a movie clip one that's also by Create.js, and this is what is called the preload one. This is our own. It's just our own private one. So if you want to know where those are going, you can just go to createjs.com, and there they are right here. Now, this is really just the documentation, download, where you can download. When it says download, you actually are downloading this particular file. In this case, our Adobe Flash is saying, no, I don't want anybody to have to worry about it, so we'll just reference the one that is on your website. So let's see if I can just drag and drop this. There's the code, and this is called a minimized JavaScript, which means it's going to be hard to read. They take out all the empty space and so on. So this is actually a code library, but it's been minimized. Let me see if we can remove that just to see what the other one would look like. Well, I thought it might be there. So the good news is you don't need to worry about all of that, because the company, the Create.js company, created these files. We access them, and here I'll show you in this slideshow.js, we can have our own JavaScript file. And here is some JavaScript that's going on. So this is the one that, again, you're not supposed to edit these. And that's the one thing. If we're going to use the Adobe Flash tool, we're going to have to take its output as it is, rather than, some people are asking, well, can I go grab another animation and incorporate? The answer is yes, but the problem is the minute you do that, you separate yourself from the FLA file that was used to generate this, publish this. So it's kind of like a couple students at school, and one guy says, hey, can I, bring my special dance shoes, and because they're pretty cool, and to gym, and it's like, okay, if you bring those in and you go ahead and use them, you're not going to be able to go back out and change. So these are generated by Adobe Flash. All of this. We don't need to get into the details of it, but you recognize that one right there, the add event listener. So it's actually the loader. It's actually the file load. It's loading a file, loads a queue, complete, and then we're loading the JSON file, which is a description of all these. Remember how we created sprite sheets? Well, this is what is created. And so it's a bunch of information about the images, and that's in a JSON file. And so here you have the handle complete. You jump down to here, and on the point that the loader is done loading the file, you jump down to here, and so on. So this is all automatically generated. I saw this by just doing inspect. So in the Google Chrome. You can go to View, Developer, View Source, turn it on, turn it off, view it. Developer. JavaScript console, turn it on, turn it off. So the click is happening outside, like at the outer layer and it's giving a direction to that movie to play, but the movie itself will stop right at the point we tell it to, and then it will wait for proceed. Let's go back and look at this timeline one more time, and we're going to go look at this particular. I double clicked on that, brought up the symbol. We've got this dot stop, this dot stop, this dot stop, this dot stop, but this one here says this dot go to and stop, so it comes back over here. If you want to know exactly what particular, I like to do code snippets. Back on, I just kind of enter this here. The actions panel there. So the code snippet, it's a canvas or HTML5 canvas, and we did a go to timeline navigation. So stop at this frame, that's just the stop that we were just looking at. So this is the code snippet, it's only just the one liner, the stop. This one here gets the current frame number. If you remember, this here, we're going to go look at the code. I already dragged over there. Let me go get it again. So to go back to the containing one, you can see you've got the reference to the two buttons. Those are kind of like outside on the exterior of your house. And then these are the directives saying, yelling into the living room saying, hey, play that, and then go to and stop. Now this is what I want to show you, this right here. So inside the living room, you're saying, oh, by the way, there's a piece of information that you're going to always have with you, and that is what the current frame is that you are on. So that's what we saw there a second ago with the code snippets. This one right here, get current frame number. And if we double click, we actually have to be in our okay, so bring up the code snippets and code snippets, get current frame number. And this is right there. Just double click on it, and there you can see it right there, this dot current frame. So that's very similar to this one here. But the this dot current frame one, this is referring to the stage itself, whereas this one here, I would say here, this one is referring to the one that's pertaining to the movie, this slideshow movie clip slide. So it's saying, tell me whatever frame you're on. Remember, we're stopped on either frame 1 or frame 24, frame 48, frame 72, frame 96. So, and then you subtract 24. So if we're here on 24, we subtract 24, we're actually going to 0, but then we'll drop into 1. Here, you click previous, it'll take you here, and then it'll say what's your current frame. It's 48. Well, we just hit previous, so you're going to have to come back to 24. So 48 minus 24 is 24. So you can see how it would progress through there. All right, so now does everybody understand, does anybody have any questions about how this animation is set up or how it works, or do you see how it may pertain to your animation and what you're working on?
That's exactly what I'm gonna have to have.
Okay.
Every bit of it. The stops, the buttons where they can go forward or reverse. So I got to have both of that.
All right.
Yeah.
Now, do you have a HTML5 canvas document, or do you have a
HTML5.
all right. Now what I could do is I can upload these sample files and post them what I'll do is I'll create an announcement, and then I'll upload the zip files, and you guys can download them and use them to work with your animations.
Okay.
Okay, any more questions on this? So it's a crossfade. Let's go ahead and let's see, we had it here a second ago. Bam, 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 bam. See, it loops. Let's go to frame 0. All right, anyways, let's move on. Oh, by the way, let's take a quick break. Oh, it's 9 o'clock my time, but I started late because I answered so many questions. So if you have to go, that's fine. We'll take a quick break, and then I will take a quick break, and I'll pause it. And when we come back, we can look at some more animations. All right, so I'll go ahead and pause. So I will be providing this sample file for you. You can be able to change the pictures. Let me browse out there so you can see what that looks like. Overlay is actually that first one. Picture 1, picture 2, picture 3, picture 4. So you could actually take just these and replace them with your pictures, for example. All right, I'll do that later on. Okay, so we have, that's what I wanted to show you about that animation. What I'd like to do now, instead of going here, what I'd like to do now is have you guys share your animation, and let's see what we can work on. So I'll stop sharing, and who would like to go first, and we can start working on your animation. Or I should say, we'll continue with your animation, perfecting it.
It don't matter. I can't.
Okay, perfect.
So, well, I turn one in just in case this happened, or I can find mine. I really don't matter. Hello?
Yeah, oh, I'm sorry. I was waiting. I thought you were trying to share your screen.
Oh, Going now.
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay, so I go to mine, find.
Yeah, let's go look at your animation.
You can do it. I don't know which one this is. This though. Real one. That's B. Okay. Can you see it?
Yeah.
Okay. This is what I'm worried about, whether I'm supposed to have an actual button from somewhere. Because I did this little thing just to show where it's supposed to be in Illustrator.
Okay, is it one object?
I think it is now. I think that's the only way I could get it over there.
Because if it's one object, then, and we're trying to do two behaviors, then
It ain't going to work.
problem, right?
Okay.
So, let's see. One thing you could do is just separate the graphics and have a next button there in the lower right, and then place the other button over the far left.
How do I do that?
How do you do that?
Yeah.
For example, why don't you click on it and then copy it?
Oh, yeah.
All right. Now, you can do a Command V or edit copy. Yeah, okay, you just paste it. Now grab it and hold down the lower left.
No.
And now, that's essentially what I'm talking about, but that one will be just the the previous button, and then the one on the right would be actually just a next button. So instead of coming from the same this like you just did, that's what it'll look like. So you'd have a next button, and then you'd have a previous button.
Okay.
So, so let's think about this animation for a second, and that is, oh, by the way, your home and about me portfolio, those are also buttons, right?
Well, they don't really have to be because they ain't got no information in there. I just did that for look's sake.
All right.
I mean, because it's pretty much the same way that button was. They not separated.
Yeah, that's all part of your, probably part of your.
Yeah, they all on the background, so they don't change.
Can you select those for a second? Yeah. So that's one graphic, is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, that's just going to be part of the background. Interactivity will be your next and previous buttons. Now, can you scrub your timeline? Okay, keep going. All right, so what we can do is add an actions layer, and then go ahead and do that. Add a new layer, call it actions, put it at the very top. All right, now on the frames that you want it to stop,
And see, these right here ain't spaced right. They better on the mobile one. They space better. I started making them too small when I first started, and then I didn't know how to make them stretch. So toward the end, they started getting further apart. So I don't know if that matters or not, but that's why they look like they all over the place.
all right, remove layers, and you can also extend the life of those things, but it's not going to have
Matter much.
it's not going to be much because the frames of your animation, you're wanting it to be a start-stop thing.
Right, yeah.
So, so let's say on frame 31, click there on the actions layer, frame 31, click there, and let's insert a keyframe. And then go into your actions window or panel. You can click on window.
It's almost hid from me. And where?
Window and then actions. Or you can hit F9.
Okay, let's see.
And now, when it comes up, there you go. You type in this, THIS, dot stop. S-T-O-P, left parenthesis, right parenthesis. Lowercase t. And make sure it's a period rather than a comma.
Yeah. What the world?
Left parenthesis, right parenthesis.
Do what now?
Do a
Oh.
left parenthesis, right parenthesis.
I'm sorry, I got a delay in it. You need a semicolon?
Yes. And then go back to the very first letter and change the capital T to a small t. When it turns purple like that, that means it says, oh, I know what you're talking about.
Okay.
All right, so here you can do a file save. Okay, and now let's scrub your timeline. You can collapse this panel if you'd like. You can go and drag the actions tab and anchor it along your vertical bar there if you'd like to come back later. So that's the actions tab right up there. You can grab that actions tab left. And really you should grab the actions tab itself. There you go, grab that. And then now come down a little bit. You'll see a little blue line appear. Come down until you see that popping up. Now move your actions tab over to the right. All right, there you go. There's a vertical. There you go. You can let go right there. Oops. Try that again. This time, let's try to get the horizontal one. Come down. Bring it down to where you want to place it. Down, 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 down. Oh, yeah. You can. If you want, you can secure it up there in the tab, or you can go to the left a little bit. Left, left, left. Just a little bit. All right. Watch for the blue line. Yeah, you don't want it vertically. You actually are trying to Anchor it horizontally. Go up a little bit till right in right to the left a little bit. Our goal here is to plop it right underneath the other control.
Right underneath where?
Well, right, those 3 dots. I can't remember exactly what tool that is. Right to the left of your cursor. Right? Okay, go left. Come on, we're trying to get to go blue. Come on, a little bit further left. There you go. Let go. Oops. Yeah, that worked. Okay. Now, take your scrub and scrub to 41. Click on that frame in the actions. Click on that frame right there. Insert keyframe. Good. Okay, now that's all selected. This time, why don't you bring up the code snippets? Click on Window. And then come down to code snippets. And let's see you anchor that code snippets panel just underneath the actions panel, like you did just a moment ago.
Where's the actions come?
Over the far right. That's where that arrow is. It's right where you anchored the actions. Okay, yeah. Go a little bit to the left, left, right. A little left. Left a little bit more. Left. Other left. There we go. Let go. Bam. Got it. Okay. So that's the code snippets panel. So go ahead and click that. Now we're going to try to, instead of typing in this dot, we're going to look for the code snippet that this did. So what section do you think you'll go into here?
HTML canvas.
Good. Go ahead and open that up. All right. Now what section do you think you have to go into here?
Let's say event handlers.
Which one?
Event handlers. Or actions. Okay.
So let me give you a hint. What this is doing is it's making a decision about whether or not it goes forward or stops. And so it's basically navigating.
Timeline navigation.
Yes, go ahead and open that. Good. I had to give you a little key word there. Okay. So which of these code snippets do you think you're going to use?
Stop at this frame.
Good deal. Now double click on that. And what did it just do?
Added a snippet.
That's right. It did. And what snippet did it add?
The stop.
Good. And if just click someplace else other than the blue or on the blue, something there. And now what's going on lines 2 through 5?
It's a comment.
Very good. And it doesn't. You could delete it right now, and it wouldn't affect anything. You comment out the code, it's like it's not even there. Okay, good job. Okay, now collapse your panel. You can either, yeah, good. Now do that again to, let's say, frame 54 or so, or 55. I can't remember. Grab your scrubber there. Good job.
Go one past that or stop right there.
No, that's the place to, let's see, we stop right there. And go ahead and insert a keyframe. And insert the keyframe. Did you do that?
Yes.
Good. Now where do you go next? You're going to do exactly what you've been doing.
So I go to code snippets, right?
What do you think? Keep going. So far, so good. Awesome. Okay, you can collapse that panel. This time, click on the. Oh yeah, that's fine. Okay, do your next one. By the way, if you want, you can move your layers down. You can move your school layer. Well, let's see, that's your background. Let's see. You can move your school layer, or maybe it's in the order you want. So that's cool.
Yeah. Get over there. Now, this the end, so what do I do here?
Okay, so the end one actually it loops. And so go ahead and create your, see the slideshow that we did before. It can loop or it can end. Oh, yours kinds of ends. So that's probably good enough as it is.
Okay.
Now let's talk about this. So right now we're actually creating the movie in the living room. We're not yet worried about the next and previous buttons on the outside of our house. We're just talking about the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Remember the analogy I was using? So this is your movie, and it corresponds to the picture symbol of the movie clip that we did before. So we kind of are, what we're doing here is we're actually building our movie, but instead of being in a picture symbol, we're actually building our movie outside. Because look at scene one, and remember the movie takes place inside the living room.
Mm-hmm.
So what we have to do is move our movie into a inside the living room. So now how do we do this? Because this is it's all built. It's got its own timeline. And so what I'm thinking about, what we have to do here is like move the whole thing into.
Break it up real bad. I can't hear anything much.
What's that?
Break it up real bad. I couldn't. I'm hearing like every other 3 words.
Oh, it must mean my connection's messed up. Let me try something here. 1 second. 1 second. Sure. Okay, so we built this outside, and now we've got to have a container. Let's see. How do we move? I guess we're going to have to like create a new symbol, copy and paste everything. All right, so can you insert a new symbol? You can do click on insert, and then new symbol, and we can call this picture. That's what it was called in the other one. So maybe we'll just call it picture. And set the type to movie, and then click OK. So that's kind of like the movie in the living room, but the problem is all our stuff for the movie is up in scene one. And remember, on the example I showed you, the only thing on scene one was 2 buttons.
Okay.
So now let's go back to scene one and let's see if we can copy and paste this. So can you go down to the layers and do a click and shift click.
What down?
Now, what we're trying to do is copy the
Yeah. What's it doing?
click and then shift click. So I'll scroll all the way down the bottom.
Yeah. Stop where? Screen.
And then do shift click on background the whole. Let's see. Now maybe we. Yeah, let's go ahead and now do edit copy. And now over on the far right, double click on picture in the library. In the library, far right. Down where it says picture. That's the movie clip we just created.
Oh.
Double click. No, on the symbol itself. I mean, on the gear. Yeah, double click there. Okay. Now, you edit, paste, and then cross your fingers.
Paste in center, paste in place, paste special.
Let's do paste in center. Oh. Oh,
I only got the background.
All right. Let me pause the recording here so I can do just a little troubleshoot. Okay. All right. So go ahead and I just posted an announcement that you can go and download. What I'd like to do is take advantage of that coding and help you. If you close this out,
What else?
and then you don't need to do a save or anything because what we're trying to do is take advantage of that other sample file, and because that way it'll work for you.
Don't say.
Yeah, no save. So go out to the announcement and download that. So go to the announcements. Let's see, yeah. And click on the announcement. Let's see if you can download that zip file. Okay, yeah, click on that sample slide show with JavaScript. Is it here? Okay, go ahead and download that. And it's extracting right now. All right, so now go into the sample button clicks folder. The Mac OS X, you can disregard that. Go to that folder. All right, so this is all those files. So the question is, where do you want to work on this, or where is the other one? Where's a good place for you to work on? What folder, on your hard drive?
I got a file on there on my desktop for this class.
Okay. You've got a folder?
Mm-hmm.
So why don't you know how to hold the control key down and click? So hold the control key down, hit click images and .fla.
And what?
Yeah, now hold the control key down and now click slideshow.fla.
Oh,
You can do a control Z and it'll probably undo what you just did. Okay, control, and then now do a control C to copy, because you're on Windows. And now can you navigate to the folder where you're doing your work?
I got the mobile here and I got the way up here.
Okay, go in there. FLA file. So go ahead and you can do a paste here. Okay, double click on images subfolder. So, why don't you, so you got picture1.png, overlay.png. Are your images out in a subfolder somewhere? Or are they already imported? I think they're imported in FLA because we're just looking at your FLA files.
Yeah, they both places.
So tell me this, where did you generate your PNG files?
All my images are in here. All the text, all of it is in there. Some of them are JPEGs, but some of them are
Why don't you grab a few of them and hold the control key down and just grab a few
They have to be in any kind of order.
No, you can just hold the control key. We're just going to grab them for now. So grab what, say, 4 or 5.
Okay. Okay, I got them.
Okay, now navigate back to where we just had pasted that.
So go back to the other.
Yeah. You go into the images folder. And now do a paste. Let's see. Oh, let's see. We got images subfolder. Huh.
I think I did the wrong thing.
All right.
I know what I did. I just got to go back.
Do like a Control Z. I wonder if Windows lets you.
Let's see. I know what I didn't do right. Oh, so. I didn't copy them before.
Oh.
And they're in there now. Do I need to get rid of this folder?
Yeah, we'll get that. Let's see. Are those shortcuts? Or are those? It looks like they're shortcuts to the image. Double click on keyboard there. It probably brings it up. Was that what you were expecting to see?
Huh?
Was that what you were expecting to see?
Yeah, I did it that way. I cartoon Arise myself. That's me if I was a cartoon.
Okay. Okay, so you can delete that images folder. And now, what do you think the next step is? Are those shortcuts? This looks like a shortcut.
I don't know. But well, it's a copy of something. I'm not sure. It might be a copy.
I'm going to right click on that keyboard image for a second. Okay, hold on. Open file location. I do open file location. Let's see. I think that's where we're going to go. Find the file.
right here.
Okay, now do a right click and do a copy of that. And yeah, and let's go back. See, we were dealing with a shortcut there. Do a paste here. Did it just paste that untitled -1? Oh no, wait a minute. Oh,
Yeah.
well, that's interesting. Okay, so now delete. That's good. Yeah, go ahead, keep going. All right, here's what you need to do though. Let's see. Yeah, keep going. Good. Okay, now do what you just did for the minister graphic. Did you go get it? Okay, good. Now what I want you to do is you're going to replace these images instead of picture1.png, picture2.png, picture3.png, picture4.png. What I want you to do is either delete those or rename them, but I need those to be, and then you'll change picture1.png, picture2.png, picture3, picture4 to your 4 graphics or 5. Did you follow me?
Okay, so where this one have picture 1, I would rename one of mine the same thing as this.
That's right. And you can't do it while that file's sitting there.
Okay, so I delete this and then put picture 1.
Yeah.
Better that those are PNGs and this is a JPEG.
Yeah. Oh, good question. I wonder if it's going to complain. Try it. Just try to rename it .png. This would be interesting. Go ahead and say yes. Let's just see if it works. Did it? Oh yeah, it did let you. Okay, so that's interesting. It's a PNG extension. Yeah, that's a JPG file. So do that for the all 4.
Oh, but I just messed up.
I think
Let's
you can
see.
do Control Z. I think you can do.
No, I did. I just got to do it. I got to make sure I put it in my right order. So this will go next. Uh, Use that.
Okay.
It's got no more to change, but I still got 2 images that was in mine. What do I do with that?
Let's see, slideshow atlas.png. Got the overlay. Change the overlay .png to one of maybe the school.png.
Do I need to put is the same thing or just do what?
Yeah, overlay.png.
Yeah. One more image that I didn't bring over here.
You got another one, did you say?
Just one. Actually, well, wait. Actually, the first 2 is not on there. We're showing myself and then that little rasterized image that was at the beginning.
Okay. So you want to go get that?
Yeah, I do go for those 2.
And don't, if it's a shortcut, don't grab it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Was that the very first one?
This the first one, this the second one, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th.
Okay, so let's do this. Rename overlay PNG to picture7.png. Okay, good. Now rename week4 assessment.jpg to overlay.png. Okay, it's overlay.png. Now picture, which one was picture 6? Picture 4? Is picture 4 supposed to be picture 6?
Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, that's supposed to be 6.
So rename that one to picture 6.
Name the other ones. Because now I don't have a 5.
Yeah, rename what 3 to 5. Picture 3 to picture 5. And then 2 to 4.
No, I didn't. Let me name this one overlay. This one don't have anything, which should be number
That's
2.
Yeah. So are they right?
Yeah.
Okay. You can use slideshow atlas.png. I wonder what that one did. Okay, double click. You can just go up one level. Get the slideshow.fla in there. Huh. Okay, go back into the images folder. And far right, delete that slideshow.fla. And then delete the slideshow atlas JSON. I don't know about those though. All right, let's leave that alone. Okay, let's go up a level. Leave those alone for right now. And now double click on your slideshow.fla.
Flash.
Yep. Kind of weird that it gave you the option of opening Internet Explorer. Let's see. Maybe it's because the files were already added. So why don't you delete from the library? Wait a minute. We want to do a swap. That's what we want to do. So click on the Properties tab. In fact, wait a minute. Let's go back to your library. and double click on picture in the library. Double click. Okay. Now, click on that image, then click on properties, and there's a swap right there. So I think we're going to have to first bring in your other pictures, and then let's see. Yeah, bring in your other pictures, and then we have to make them symbols. So, let's see, swap. Okay. Click cancel, and click on File, Import to Library. So import to Library.
Yeah.
Try that again. File, Import to Library. And oh wow. Wait a minute. That's weird. Why do we have? Oh, did you fix it? Okay, good. So click on Overlay, and then hold the Shift key down, and click on 7. Picture 7. Okay. There you go. Okay, click Open. All right, so let's look at your library. Let's see here. Wait a minute. It's working. Hold on. Give it a second. Let's do a replace. This is going to be interesting. Okay. And we might have just replaced them all. Possibly. Okay, so we're in the picture. Just for the heck of it, just scrub your timeline there. Let's see what it does. Look at that. You got different resolutions on each of these. Okay, do save it, and then test it as is. Just do a regular save, I think. And then okay, now do control and test. Let's see. I'm just kind of curious what it does. Can we do a test?
It ain't letting me, so I do it up here.
Control.
Nothing.
What's going on?
Huh?
What's happening?
Nothing.
Well, you got to do a test, though. Can you click on the control menu option? Is that working?
Either one of those, or I might not have it. So I have to go.
Go to the one to the right. Right there. Okay, test. Let's just see what this looks like. Like, click the right button there, see what it does. You do it again. And again. Okay, so what do we see there?
So
All right, one thing, we got to get the resolutions of your graphics the same.
yeah,
But let's go back to the flash file. Do you know how to create images that are the same size? You know, with resolution?
no,
Are those? Well, that's one thing I'd like you to learn how to do, how to resize images in Photoshop.
well, I know here the
Oh, yeah.
transform tool is what you,
Yeah, I guess you might be able to do that.
but then they won't stay though. So
My goal is to have you have images that all come from the same size.
right,
So your original source image rather than doing it dynamically here. So this particular image didn't get swapped out.
nope, a
So,
lot of them didn't. So I don't know where they are.
so let's look at timeline. The timeline. So pick one, pick two. So this is probably pick one. Let's go look in your library and click on pick. Is there a pick one in there?
Button.
Well, there's picture one, but okay, that's a layer. Okay. So
Gotta,
yeah, click on the picture one.png. And then click on properties. And so we already need to have brought this in. And frankly, they all had to be converted to images. But we're just swapping the image. Do you want to play with this some more? Do you have some idea of what you're doing?
kind of.
All right, let's call it a night,
Yeah.
and let's pick it up tomorrow night.
Okay.
Sound good?
Yeah.
All right. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Do what you can if you can on some of this.
I will try. Like I say, it's almost midnight here, and I got to be up at 6 o'clock to work in the morning.
All right. So email me tomorrow and tell me what time you can meet, and I'll be there.
Okay.
Okie doke. Thank you. And Jason, are you still around? You may have signed off. All right, I'm going to sign out. Thank you very much for coming. We'll talk to you tomorrow night.
Okay. Thanks.